I'm being punished. If it were up to me, I'd still be spending my days in taverns and my nights with whores.
I don't envy you. Unfortunately, you're here for the rest of your life.
Would you tell me something about yourself?
I'm a novice and I'm here because I'd make a poor merchant. I like books and I want an education. Although I must say, so far the monastic life's been quite unexpected.
Let's go then.
Good. But before we do, here's a letter directly from the prior telling you all your regular duties from tomorrow onwards. Make sure to read it this evening, so you know how things work. Right, we can go now. Follow me closely. I'll explain everything as we go. Remember one word: discipline. It's your job to work and pray. You serve the Lord now, not your own bodily needs. This is the way to the dormitory, where we all sleep. You'll find a free bed there, which is now yours. Do you know the first thing the monastery taught me? To appreciate sleep. We rise before dawn every day. Takes a bit of getting used to.
Praise be to our Lord Jesus.
This is the garden, a place for silent contemplation and meditation. Centuries ago, this monastery was founded by the most esteemed of brothers, Saint Procopius. His earthly remains can be found in a cave under the monastery, and his spirit wanders the corridors at night, punishing any misbehaving novices. So beware. Here are the frattery and scriptorium, together with the library. These are the places where we work. Ora et labora. Pray and work. As a novice, you must always listen to your superior brethren, and above us monks are the prior and the cicatas, who punish every infraction. You'll know them by the canes they carry. Do what they say. This is the refectory, where we come together to eat. During meals, you must be silent. Only one brother reads aloud from the Rule of Saint Benedict.
The rule is the only law we recognize, with the exception of those from God himself. If you break any of its precepts...
Abbot Peter's health is deteriorating.
The library, the pride of our monastery, a trove of learning. We don't just read books here, we also copy them. You too will learn how. And that's all. Today you are still free from duty, but tomorrow you begin work like the others. If you need anything, ask any of the brothers. We will be glad to help you. And I recommend you get to know the other novices. You already know me. Then there is Siskin, Yodok, and Lucas.
Thanks for showing me around. There's a lot to learn here. Will you tell me something about yourself?
There's not much to tell. I lived in Vlashim, and after my father died, I found it's peaceful here.
So you chose to come here?
It may seem strange, but I'm one of the few novices that did. I might be the only one. The truth is, the idea of spending my life...
I'd like to ask you something about... Who's in charge of
Truthfully, everyone except us. But officially, Abbot Peter. And sooner...
I see. Are there any
Yes. From the moment talk began about electing a new abbot.
Tell me something about
Abbot Peter is old. When he dies, they'll have to select a new abbot from amongst the brethren. The candidates are John and Nevlas. And if you ask me...
Tell me something about...
Work, prayer, work, prayer.
What are the roles of the...
Someone takes care of the library. But it's the circators you should worry about. They can be quite strict, so if you want to avoid getting punished... Lockpicks? You surprise me, brother. And you, a nobleman's son. But you could ask Brother Celerius. They say he used to be a thief. I'm no priest, but tell me what you've done.
I'm here in the monastery looking for a thief.
You don't say. And who...
Someone whose job it is to investigate the case, find the perpetrators and make sure they get the punishment they deserve.
Punishment? Do you intend to punish them here, in the monastery?
I don't know yet. I'm still just on their trail. Perhaps you could help me find him?
The missing thief? If I knew anything, I'd tell you, but I suppose it must be one of the novices. I've only recently heard about the Neuhof incident, nor the other brethren have been here much longer than that.
I know. Aside from me, there are only 4 novices, but still I don't know which one he could be.
3? Please, leave me out of it. And you're right that it could be any one of them. No one knows anything about Lucas. Siskin might be a lot of things, but a monk isn't one of them. And Yodok is a slimy worm. It wouldn't surprise me if he was behind that massacre. Actually, the more I think about it, the less I like that Yodok. He's a treacherous rat who'd do anything to get in someone's good books. The thought of Yodok at Neuhof sends chills up my spine.
Maybe you're right. It's not a pretty thought.
Don't fret, my friend. You'll...
Who would you...
Why should I even...
The forbidden books must be
Get
in
away
that
from my cabinet. The books stood in there aren't for your eyes to see. Praise be to Christ.
I'm Gregor.
I know. But I've no time for idle chat.
What, you do nothing else?
It is my penance and my blessing. And... Talk to me, bro.
I'd like to...
Can't you see I'm working?
I'm Gregor and I'm new here.
I know. I saw you in the church during ceremony.
What does that mean?
I make sure everyone observes the rule.
When it's not the way?
Then we're authorized to mete out punishment. But
I found this piece of parchment.
the words mean nothing to me.
I'd like to ask you. Who's in...
Abbot Peter is...
And what happens when...
Then we elect him.
Are there any candidates?
Yes, there are. Brothers John and... On one side are brothers who...
Tell me about...
John is the circator and the oldest brother.
I'd like to know...
Nevlis manages the monastery's property. Although perhaps...
Are there ever any...
Unfortunately, yes.
I understand. What can you tell me?
What can I say? You're here to demonstrate your...
I meant something specific about the brothers.
But you know them yourself. Yorick is an odd one, but he's diligent and eager. Perhaps Antonius is hardworking and will help with anything, but prays less than he ought. Lucas is as...
Who would you like?
Brother John, obviously.
I'm Gregor, a novice.
I know. It was hard not...
And you are?
Lucas, also a novice. Don't get upset.
I'd like to know some...
I don't know much.
Tell me about Antonius.
I'd like to, but there's nothing to tell.
You really don't know anything about anyone?
Don't get upset. I'm sorry I can't tell you.
Will you tell me something?
I
mean, where you're from, what sort of life...
I'm a novice, and
Come on.
I could, but I don't want to. I'm sorry. I want to stay... What has been isn't important for us. We cast the past aside when we walked through the monastery.
If you could...
But I can't vote, so what's the point of worry?
I'd like to... Well, that's all.
Service.
My name's Gregor, a novice.
You can call me Siskin. Now, are you here of your own free will, or is this a punishment? Although, it's not important. Welcome to Purgatory.
Did you say purgatory?
You'll see soon enough. Soon enough.
Will you tell me something about yourself?
Look, nothing against you, but I prefer not to talk about my past.
Are you hiding something? Why are you so reluctant to tell me anything about yourself?
I'm hiding a lousy past that I'd rather forget. I hate to think of all I lost when they stuck me in here. And also because I really hate the question, aren't you the son of the famed Sir Smil Flashka of Pardubitz? I was rich and I had everything. But then my father began to feel his time approaching, so he decided to send a son to the monastery. And, being the youngest, the lot fell on me. I've no head for managing the estate, and they said I'd squander it. Can you imagine? Me, in a monastery. So I took what coin I could from home with me, so I didn't lose out completely.
But you didn't have to come here if you didn't want to.
No, not if I didn't mind being left to beg alms by the city gate. I had one choice, the monastery or nothing. If it had come to that after my father's death, so be it. But to get rid of me while he's still alive?
What's your plan with this treasure?
To get out of here as soon as I can. I'll wait another year or two until my hot-headed brothers cool off a bit, and then I'll take the silver and run off somewhere, far, far away from here.
That's all I wanted.
Please, keep it to yourself.
How is it that you don't get any penance for missing morning prayer?
I've paid off the circators to turn a blind eye. And the other monks don't notice as long as you show your face there from...
I'd be interested to hear what... Tell me about Antonio.
Well, if there was a monk I'd recommend as a friend, with of course the exception of myself, it would be, and...
What can you tell me about...
It's a tricky situation with Lucas. No one really knows anything about.
That's all.
There's something I should tell you. I'm here to find someone, and, well, to do away with him. But listen, it's not murder, not when it's a man like him. He's one of the brigands who burned down Neuhof.
What's he doing here? And who are you?
They call him Pious because he used to be a priest. When he found out a lot of people were after him, he hid away here. And as you can see, escaped suspicion. They sent me here to find him and bring him to justice. He's one of the novices.
So we have one outlaw and one assassin in our midst. This place is a lot more exciting than I expected. Do you know who it is?
Well, that's just it. No, but I hope I'll track him down soon. If you find any clue that could lead me to him...
I swear I don't know anything. Except that I'm not the one you're looking for.
I suspect Lucas.
He certainly says little enough, and he keeps himself to himself. I could well believe he's hiding something, but not that he's a killer.
It could be...
Antonius. He's a fine fellow. No, it can't...
See how hard it is? It could be any... I won't tell you more.
You're talking about killing in the monastery.
Would you do that?
You're right. I'll keep it to myself. I've got problems enough of my own without involving myself in yours.
Thank you, Siskin.
Who would you...
Most likely Nevlas. He's a fine fellow, and the monastery will still be a monastery, no matter who's in charge.
I'd like...
Very well.
Thank you.
What do you desire?
I'd like... Tell me... Why does it...
Because the future direction of the monastery...
Can you tell me...
7 centuries...
What are the... Are there...
Unfortunately, yeah.
I understand. I'm Gregor.
I know. I saw you at the ceremony. My name is Nevlis, and I'm the provost here.
That means you get to leave the monastery.
No, not at all.
Tell me about...
I'm the provost of this, but in reality...
Is there anything I could...
You know, there is. Perhaps you... I'm interested in medicine, and I know there's a cure for the abbot's ailment. With your help, I could find out that...
You can count on my help.
In order to get the recipe for this medicament, a few rules will need to be broken. Now you know, I, however, think if God sent us not just illnesses, but also the medicine to cure them, the cure for Abbot Peter's illness could be contained in one of the books in our library. But it will
Time flies, eh? My Agnes
Why are they...
has been gone now.
Because they
4.5
contain...
years.
It's nonsense.
Still, it seems
Even
like only
Cena.
yesterday she went to the good Lord.
Where can I find...
In the library, there's a
right
large... No one will notice.
Life is short.
Is there any...
There's a key to the cabinet in the prior's chambers. The librarian should have another one, or you can acquire some lockpicks.
I'm ready.
One more important thing. There's always someone in the library during the day. To pass unwatched. They say Brother Solarius understands locks, but don't tell him why you need it. Once you have the book, we'll soon have the election of the abbot over and...
Ah, Gregor.
I'd like...
What is it?
I've heard of...
Who told you?
Is it possible...
Only the abbot.
And can I see them?
No. The abbot, right.
I found the...
Ovid? What is that? Is it the name of a book?
Not what, but who? Ovid was a great Roman poet. We have a few volumes by him in the library, but one of them vanished one day. Now I believe I can guess what happened. Brother Eustace, may the earth rest lightly on him, was quite narrow. If he'd had his way, all such books would have been burned. Ovid's the...
Oh, would you like me to put the book...
Absolutely. Eustace's wits weren't the I imagine he hid them throughout the monastery. It might take you a while to find them all, but when you...
Good.
Thank you, brother. It's of no great importance.
Can you tell me something?
The art of love is a sort of manual instructing young people how to find and maintain love. It's a lovely work. I don't understand what...
Where should I...
If I knew, I wouldn't have asked you to do it. The pages of the...
I found...
Wonderful.
I've...
That's correct.
Could a book be...
No errors are made. Every book...
How does a book...
Forbidden works are full of heresy and blasphemy and witchcraft.
I don't need to hear any...
revelries are beginning to tire me out.
We're none of us getting any younger, but a cup of wine makes it all worthwhile.